Hey, what's up everybody? Tim Gosnell here, and today we are going to talk about the best method to pay off debt. Now there's two primary philosophies that we're going to compare. One is called the Debt Avalanche, and one is called the Debt Snowball. So with both of them, you're going to pay the minimum payments on all of your debts. Then, if you have any additional money to pay off debt further, they differ in where you're going to put that next dollar. So with the Debt Avalanche method, you're going to put the next dollar above the minimum payment towards the debt with the highest interest. With the Debt Snowball, you're going to put the next dollar above the minimum payments towards the debt with the lowest balance. So one, you go to the highest interest, the other, you go to the lowest balance. Now let's talk about why. With the Debt Avalanche, the goal is to pay the least amount of interest as you're paying off the debt. So in theory, you start with the highest amount of interest, so that goes away first, and then what's left sitting there earning more interest that you're gonna have to pay has the least amount of interest. On the other side, the philosophy is we're not as concerned about the math and how much we're going to pay off. We're more concerned about the psychology. And the principle is, as humans, we need to see progress in order to stay motivated. So by paying off the lowest debt first, we're going to see our debts go from 3 debts to 2 debts, and that's going to keep us motivated to get us to go all the way through and work our way to the last one. What also happens, and why they call it the Debt Snowball method, is you're paying off your first debt and you get that paid off the fastest. Now you can take that minimum payment plus any extra that you're putting towards it and put it towards the second debt. So now let's look at a specific example so you can see how this plays out. Let's say that you have 3 debts, a $1,000 debt, a $5,000 debt, and a $10,000 debt. Now, the interest on those debts are gonna be the $1,000 debt has a 2% interest rate, the $5,000 debt has an 18% interest rate, and the $10,000 debt has a 6% interest rate. In the Debt Avalanche method, you are going to pay the $5,000 debt off first because it has an 18% interest rate. You're gonna next move to the $10,000 debt because it has the next highest interest rate, which is 6%, and then you'll move down to the $1,000 debt, which has a 2% interest rate. Conversely, with the Debt Snowball, you're gonna start with the one with the lowest balance. You're gonna start with the 2%, but that also has the lowest interest rate. You're gonna next move to the one with the next lowest balance, which will be $5,000, which has the 18% interest rate. And then you will move to the debt with a $10,000 balance that has a 6% interest rate. So which one should you use? Well, in my opinion, all things being equal, I believe in psychology with money being more important than the math. Meaning, if we don't stay motivated and we start with the highest interest rate, we get discouraged and then we stop working to pay off our debt early, then it was all a waste anyway. So my personal preference is the Debt Snowball method because I think it keeps you motivated and you're more likely to actually complete it. Now, while doing the Debt Snowball, in theory, you could pay more interest. But I say that's in theory because it really only is more interest if in the alternate universe where you did the Debt Avalanche, you paid it off in the exact same amount of time, which I think is unlikely because psychology and behavior has so much to do with how we deal with money that I think you're more likely to actually do it if you do the Debt Snowball method, and that's more important. So the only exception where I may say do the Debt Avalanche is if you have a significant amount of debt and you do not plan on trying to pay it off quickly. In that case, it may be worthwhile to do the Debt Avalanche. Hopefully that's helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And if this video has been helpful to you, hit the like button because it helps a whole lot in helping more people find this information. Have a great day. See you on the next video.